Hey everybody, I thought I would make a little garden video for everyone to see what we're up to. We're super busy out here at the minute. Every moment I get, I'm out here doing something. There's so much to do, so much we want to do, and just to make it beautiful, having like a nice place to sit now and play with baby is so nice, having the lawn space, but also at the moment we're spending a lot of time over the other side of the garden there, getting all of our vegetables ready, which is exciting. So I thought I'd just show you around and talk about some of the projects we got on. I thought it'd be nice to document it a few times throughout the year, and yeah, just see all the different things that we're getting up to and how things come along, what works, what doesn't work. I also have this kind of feeling in my mind that if I document this and promise you guys videos, then it will make sure that I keep up with it. But at the minute, my idea is that we're putting in a lot of time now, getting everything set up, in the hope that, you know, it will just work a lot more organically, and, you know, in a way like it's all gonna work naturally, and hopefully not, you know, if I put the work in now, hopefully it'll be less work later. That's my thinking. So we've pruned all the trees pretty much. You know, we've got apricot tree there. Everything's just come out into leaf the last few weeks. Not everything, but yeah, things are just starting to come out. Pruned this apple tree here right in front of us at the end of last season, and that's coming back beautifully. All the peaches are coming out. We had amazing peach blossoms a few weeks ago, and yeah, all the bulbs have come out. Spring's been really late this year. It's been a really funny old spring. It's been quite cold. We were lighting the fire much longer than we normally do. Yeah, it's just been totally different to the last few years, and yeah, just everything's a bit late, a bit slow starting, but it's all coming on now. And today, as you can see, like, beautiful weather, and it is so warm. I think we're in the high 20s right now, and it's getting up to 30 degrees this weekend, which is nice. This is one thing that we're really big on at the minute, which is these two taps here. These bring water from a lake up behind the village, and we've just connected it all up. I've just built this irrigation system for the vegetable garden, and it's going to be continuing here as well. I'll talk about that as I go, but yeah, basically getting our free lake water over to the vegetable garden to irrigate the vegetables. Just a simple sort of pipe connection there. I've got a filter on it. I'll show you a little bit. Just a drip irrigation system we set up. Pruned all the grapes back. They're all just starting to bud now. Probably see up here. Just a few leaves coming out. This cherry tree was just full of blossom last week, and it's just gone over now. But gonna have, and you can even see the tiny little cherries starting already. Maybe you can make them out, but it's gonna be a huge crop of cherries again. So this is the lawn that I did last year. The right hand side where I'm standing now, this is and the left hand side is new, which I sowed in the spring. It's just about caught up now. See a little muddy strip there where I've had to dig some pipe underneath it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's going to blend in another month's time. I think you barely tell the difference between last year's and this year's lawn. Still a little bit patchy. I might oversow it in the autumn. Not too bothered about it, to be honest. It's lovely soft little space just for us to play around and sit around in the day. Got a persimmon tree planted last year, that's survived the winter, that's coming back out, which is nice. Got Jess's hammock up. This is a cool little thing we've been doing. When we bought the house, it came with all these beautiful old handmade tools. Like, can you see this rake up there? Beautiful handmade rake. And yeah, I just thought it would be nice to make a bit of a feature of it. So this corner was just nothing. It was a real mess. Had this old timber in the barn, so built a little raised bed there, filled it with a load of the soil, load of compost from the compost we made last year, and we went and brought 30 really good strawberry plants, and yeah, just planted this all up a week or so ago. Could do with a bit of water, but that's going to be coming on great. And I planted these are some seeds I had left over last year, just 5 tomato plants. They're an old heirloom variety called mortgage lifter, and they're supposed to be really good. So yeah, just a couple of tomatoes in there, and then we found the dartboard out which we brought last year, finally put that up. So yeah, we spend the evenings out here. And this is the vegetable garden. It's coming on. It's a bit of a mess in places. I kind of kept waiting to do this video until I thought, you know, I'll wait till I've got everything looking great, but that just never happens. As soon as I've done one job, there's something else that needs doing. Still a bit of weeding to do here. Been planting up these beds with loads of nice perennials, and got some hostas and lots of bulbs, sweet williams, some hollyhocks I grew from seed last year that are getting huge. And this is all going to be, in these flower beds, I'm going to plant up a load of herbs and a lot of medicinal plants, things that we can use in the kitchen, and yeah, and things that I left over from the vegetable garden. Like I've just stuck a random couple of lettuces in there, and I'll probably put a few chili plants, probably put any leftover things that I've got from the vegetable garden. I'm just going to integrate into the flower beds, which would be nice. And around here, I'm going to dig a trench all the way between the trees and the lawn, long trench, and plant that up with pumpkins, squash, watermelons, honey melons, and all along this wire. You can't see it too well, but this trench here, this is full of cucumbers that we grew from seed. I need to water those in a minute. And yeah, we've just been clear along this fence line, digging this trench that we can fill up. Got 3 bigger ones down there I brought in the market just so we have some cucumbers a little bit earlier. And yeah, I'm going to plant some beans at the end there, partly just for a bit of privacy, but it's just not that not that there's anyone around, but it's just I don't know, I just like that kind of enclosed garden space feel, creating those kind of vibes in a garden. So there's going to be full of cucumbers, and actually the first few panels along here, these are all gherkins. Yeah, just make the most of that space. So I'm going to plant that up probably next week and do the same kind of drip irrigation along that part of the garden which I've been setting up here. I just laid out these tomato plants for Jess. She's just planted these up today and gave them a little water. And these are all our lettuces coming on nice. Potatoes over there. Yeah, I'm going all out. I'm really going all out this year with the garden, with the veg garden. I'm doing it properly. I've done overhead irrigation systems before, and it just drives you mad because you're just weeding non-stop. And I think what put me off doing a drip irrigation system is mostly the fact that I'd never actually set one up on my own before. I used to work in a garden nursery. I worked there for about 10 years, so that's where I learnt most of my knowledge about gardening. And then I actually went on to run a gardening business in the UK for many years, did garden design, landscaping, all kinds of work out there. But yeah, I'd messed around with it a little bit. I just wasn't sure. I couldn't get my head around how to irrigate a garden like this, but actually now I have got my head around it. It's super easy, and I've turned it on this morning properly for the first time. I was out here working in the dark last night, running these pipes. Like we have this main pipe here, goes all the way over to that free water source I was talking about at the beginning. It zigzags its way up to the vegetable garden, comes up to the end here where it splits into two. And did that because I'm not sure about the pressure side of things. Maybe I want to have just this half of the garden watered at one time, and just this half of the garden watered at the other time. Because both of them are only half planted up, I had the whole thing running and it was working beautifully. So I'm super chuffed about that. And you can see here, this is all our planting. I've got a few more, we've just planted up these 2 strips of sweet corn today. So I'm going to run the strips for these in a minute. These 2 strips of sweet corn here are from yesterday. So there's about 80 something sweet corn plants here. We've got, I think, over 40 red peppers and green peppers, about 20 aubergines, 20 cabbages, a little stretch of onions from last year, and then a new stretch of onions from the spring over there. Almond tree's doing good, plum tree's doing good. Hacked this pear tree back here really hard. It was leaning too much and getting way too heavy. And yeah, I'm sure actually there's probably a few, you know, if you've been watching all these videos I've been doing, I'm sure you notice a few things. We had that lean-to on the side of the house which was ripped down. Wanted to make a bit of an area for the dogs over here, and they can use this barn when we go out, have a nice clear run around the house. and bit of work to do around here. I'm going to relay this path. The old septic tank system's gone. I'll probably make a video about that, but no, I don't particularly recommend using IBC containers for a septic tank. I know I made a video on that. Anyway, here is our new septic tank, which we built. It's a huge 2 metre by 3 metre by 2 metre pit that we hand dug and brick walled it up, and just a big soakaway basically, and that's working fine. Everything's completely natural. We don't use any chemicals or anything like that, so it's good to run in deep underneath the vegetable garden. I'm not worried about that at all. Our chickens have been great. They've had free roam in the garden until very recently, and now I'm going to keep them in just for a bit. They've got a big stretch here. Just going to keep them in for a bit while the plants are small. I don't want them eating the small sweet corn plants and things like that. And all the new seedlings, I've got to be a little bit careful. And I've been starting all my seeds here in these cold frames that I built. So these were just leftover bricks from the building of the septic tank. And I've been collecting old windows. These are sort of the old windows that everyone rips out their house when they get here. I've still got a load in the barn. I didn't realise the other day I've actually got loads more. But yeah, I put this weed control fabric down. Just built like a little nursery area. This is a real mess, but I've got okra going in there. I've got marigolds, broccoli, cauliflowers, chard, coriander, loads of herbs actually. Here I've got our courgette plants coming on nicely, some of my chilies, everything I've grown from seed. We're real chili heads as well, so we've got like loads of Carolina Reapers and bonnets and 7 pots and loads of nice hot varieties which we love. I think that might be what I'll be planting out this evening. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's everything, more or less. I'll probably think of some other things. Oh yeah, maybe on that wall over there we've got like another 80 runner bean plants we're going to plant along that fence line over there. Yeah, that's about everything. Really happy with how it's coming on, and I'm quite excited to show you guys how beautiful it's going to be in another month or two. The garden was like really beautiful when we brought it, and it was a huge part of why I just couldn't resist this house. I just loved it, and having the background that I do, I can just envision it, how it was going to be. And we never had a nice garden since we've been here. We've just had a very practical farm, and now having an area to play with baby, it's also producing food that we can eat. It's just everything's organic, everything's natural, and just finally getting to use my skills and really enjoy it and have fun with it. And yeah, we're so excited about it, so yeah, I'm excited to share it with you. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any comments, any suggestions, any questions, do leave us a comment down below. And as always, we'll see you really soon in the next video.